Alright, so first things first. This is the boss fight where, not right now, but the boss fight for this area. This is where I ran out of memory on my PlayStation. So I got the first fight and I got a second attempt, but the one where I actually killed it, I didn't get. Which, of course, of course, this is the boss that I didn't get video of me actually beating it. And I'll talk about it a little more once we actually get there, but it is one of the most poetic finishes to a boss fight in all of Dark Souls. Probably not Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne has some pretty good boss moments and finishes, but man, this is something else, and it's really unfortunate that I didn't get it recorded. So, again, if we continue a little bit further down from the catacombs of Carthus, we then arrive at this smoldering lake, where you can see it's just this big area of water with steam rising up out of it. And you can see these little flaming ashes as we go forward. And at first I thought this was the only way, which I do like this. This is I got pretty lucky here, but I just kind of think it was cool that I wasn't really trying to get in here yet. And so if I had just been with the magic blocks floating in the air like that, obviously we're seeing demonic influences. But just the fact that if I had been playing normal and would have just been kind of going from spot to spot, I would have found that. And that is good game design. That is, while you're on the critical path, while you're on the path to progression, the game simply doing what it does allows you, more demon blocks, allows you to find different things within the game. And I don't like the demon ruins very much. And it's mainly because of the enemies. They're hard in a very strange way. And it may just be that I didn't have any good weapons to kind of deal with this enemy type, per se. But yeah, I don't like a lot of this area. It's also a lot of secret doors, and I hate that. I hate that. However, they do it in a way that makes sense, so I at least appreciate it. Now this right here, this doesn't look familiar to me. That monster, the Izalith Pyromancy Tome. I'm not sure what that is. That looks to be a new enemy. At least for Dark Souls 3. That doesn't remind me of anything from 1 or 2. Oh man, my allergies are starting to get to me. Now, what I do really like, and we're about to start seeing it, is the Demon Ruins does a phenomenal job of telling you a story by showing and not telling. So the overall theme, or motif, I guess would be a better word, of Dark Souls 3 is that the fire is going out. The fire is fading. Yeah, that's not very good damage, is it? It's not quite 25. I switch weapons here, and I wanted to remind myself to see how big a difference this made, and it's not very much. The Demon Ruins is all presentation, and you can probably make this jump. It's just I did not. And these enemies, we've seen them before. They were up in the swamp. I want to say they're Gru, Gruu, something like that, or Groot. I think we pick up an item on one of these. Yeah. It flashes across the screen real quick, but as the fire is fading, the Chaos Demons get their power from flame, even if it is kind of a malformed chaos flame. The flame is still flame. Yeah, is it this one? It was too fast. But we've seen them before, and it's very curious that they're down here in the Demon Ruins. And the other thing we're going to start to see, maybe right in here. Don't make me look stupid, game. Yeah. So we have these like little mongrel variants. Which I hate. I hate their screams. That is not a death rattle. And look at these guys. They're like hiding in the corners. The little statue-looking guys. He was hiding behind a pillar. There's another one like kind of pushing itself into the corner. And when we look around the rest of the room, there are dead demons everywhere. Dead Taurus demons, dead Capra demons. And the place is overrun with these Gru enemies. So I wonder if, as they have been getting weaker, those monsters have just been coming through and decimating their population. Another invisible wall. And here again, brilliant visual storytelling. You hear those footsteps? What's that sound like? Does that sound like armor? Does that sound like Black Knight armor? The knights who were specifically commissioned by Lord Gwyn to destroy the demons, which is why their armor turned black, because it was scorched by the Chaos Flame. Oh yeah, he knew we were healing. Heard that Estus swish and tried to get to us. So we just picked up the Black Knight sword. And so obviously they've been fighting this room for a while. And yeah, they're fighting grew, but look at all these dead demons. And right up here, we got more Black Knights posted. So, whether or not the Black Knights fulfilled their mission and just took care of all the demons, and then maybe the Gru started to kind of encroach or just take over the territory, or since there's only a couple Black Knights, maybe they've essentially hollowed out and the Gru are just coming in and finishing the job. Not getting the territory, but just killing the demons off. There's a lot going on in the Demon Ruins, and it's unfortunate that its level design and its layout is kind of so humdrum. But I also think it works because it kind of lets you, if it was a place like Irithyll, where, you know, you just have these gorgeous, distracting visuals, maybe you wouldn't pick up on all that. Maybe that is part of the genius behind Dark Souls, is that it tells you the story it wants to tell you, and it knows how to tell it better than you know how to absorb it. Better than we know how to absorb it, I should say. And we're back up to the smoldering lake, and we have that giant arbalest that we gotta take out. Yeah, it gives you the little fake out with the towers there. It'll smash through those like you wouldn't believe, obviously. I gotta say, I don't remember why, but I was really nervous going through this area. Like, for some reason, I did not know. Well, this probably didn't help a whole lot. I don't know if it's just because I'm in the Demon Ruins or what. I don't know why I did not opt. I think maybe just being in the Demon Ruins, I figured there'd probably be some fire enemies around the corner. So instead of going back to the fire sword, just take these guys out with with my dark sword. Could never get that sword in the first Dark Souls. Always wanted it. Could never get it. And maybe this is also, we're seeing some of the Karthus skeletons. Some of the Karthus Skellimans. Making a move on the demon territory as well. I gotta say though, they definitely made the demons in the level. Wow, take your time, God. They made the demons way harder in this game than they did. Because in the first one, I think I talked about it. Like the Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith were just, it's like they had 30 minutes to get that area done before the game had to be on the truck, like ready to ship. And they just had so many goofy enemy placements and they were all just recycled bosses. The Taurus Demon and the Capra Demon. They had a couple. There we go. Had a couple new enemies and new assets, but for the most part was just all, even the boss, the, what was it, the Fire Sage Demon. God, I hate these things. And then another one. Yeah, there you can see the Herbalist. I really don't like them. They're hard. Mean. Man, I can't believe how many times in this game I got down to like one freaking hit point. I was a little bit cocky when I was playing this though. Like I jumped ahead pretty quickly. And so we just turn this off. And even right here, we have these giant corpses. Like, something... I mean, it's possible they could have just died on their own, but where there are so many more around, I mean, I think there's 4, maybe, no, there's like 6 or 7 in the game that we end up having to kill. So the fact that they're just kind of there like that, I don't know, that makes me think they were killed. They didn't just expire. There's really not much more to the Smoldering Lake. I kind of feel like this was just implemented, this was an area put in to just kind of bring what happens with the demons to a close, just to, like I said, I mean, I kind of think there's going to be a Dark Souls 4 just based on the introduction of the Deep. And I think a good way to lead into that would be to completely eradicate the demons. And then next you have malformed humanity. That is the overwhelming threat. And even though it's not really a secret area, it's pretty optional. I mean, the boss for the area is right in front of us up here. I hate this enemy, but if you get a chance to really look at it, like, it's kind of nuts. Like, it has a skeletal frame, obviously, but if you get close enough and can actually look at it, you can see like bodies, hollowed bodies on the inside there. And then, yeah, so this is ordinarily how you would enter the Demon Ruins. But we pretty much already cleared it out, so I think there are a couple things for us to look at in there. And then the boss fog is already right next to us. So again, we do not have to go down here for anything at all. But if you care about the lore and you kind of care how the rest of the world has progressed, especially as it's on the precipice of kind of who really knows. You definitely get the feeling by the end of this game that it, even though there have been many cycles of the flame and the dark and all of that, this definitely feels different, more significant. And I want to say there might be like a sorcery tome or a pyromancy tome or maybe a spell. There's something down that hallway, but I really didn't care about it. I do want to say it was some kind of spell. I just don't remember. Don't remember what. But those, that's just another group right there. But in that hallway a minute ago, oh, and I hate these. Oh, these guys suck. Oh, they suck. Man, there's one hiding around a corner. Oh, I hate that move. I hate that move. Ugh. But the demons in that hallway, they are like, they seem to be some of the hardest freaking enemies in the game. It's crazy. This stupid thing, like you can see I see the slime there, but I figured I could get it and get away. Nope. However, the slime trap did save me from the actual fire trap. Gave me some iframes, so it all worked out in the end. And since they outsmarted me, I let them live. But yeah, there's not much more to the Demon Ruins. Like I said, there's some kind of sorcery, I think, that I left behind. It could be a pyromancy. I'm pretty sure it's a sorcery. Yeah, these enemies, these guys are just like insanely tough. Like they'll one-shot you all the time. And I guess I don't even really know if they're demons. I assume they are because they're using all that fire magic, but they could be a higher evolution of the Gru. And yeah, now I think we start the boss fight. So we go in, there's not a lot going on. Once you get close enough, he brings his flames back on. Flame on, he says. Again, chances are I'm a little bit too early to be doing this. And Cuculus, I think, is the pyromancer's name there. We want to have Cuculus with us because if he survives the fight, we're able to get some of his equipment later on. So the first time I fought this boss, I died. Second time, Cuculus died. And the third time, we got him. And he's using his flames, he's using his spells. Obviously, it's extremely powerful. Once you get it down to maybe like half an inch of its health left, its flames will go out. It's still alive, but it has no flame left to fight. And it basically is just down on its hands and knees and just kind of swiping at you a little bit. It's oddly tragic for something as monstrous and as, you know, just the way it absolutely demolishes you the first few times you fight it. But it's you're witnessing the end of a complete era, and it's just very poignant. It's and again, it's a half inch of its health bar. I don't think it really does anything different here. It's just way more aggressive. Like, it absolutely decimates us. Cuculus got one hit off on it. I haven't touched it yet. And then there goes Cuculus. So I had to hide behind a boulder and homeward bone out of there. Because I didn't want to waste an ember. Because you gotta be ember to summon NPCs. And yeah, you can see right here just the bodies. Those were those are the I keep wanting to say sanctuary demons. But like the sage demons that we fought in Dark Souls 1, they were just those bodies all over. And I think the centipede demon is in there as well. It's kind of hidden a little bit, but he's in there. And then this is also very touching, extremely touching. We have the fair lady, and you can just barely see the body that we got Quilana's pyromancy scroll off of, and she is embracing the fair lady from Dark Souls 1. So just as Pyromancy Tome of Quilana containing her unique spells, these pyromancies can only be taught by a female. Oops. So there's not much more to it. Again, this is a perfect example of visual storytelling, and even though I don't like the area, I do I really like what they did with it and how they pulled it off. And so next time, I think we're starting up Irithyll, and then things get real.